like to invite our RWA team that is based in Singapore, Jeremy, here on board. So yeah, please give us an introduction about who you are, what you guys are building.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for having me. Very excited to be here. My name is Jeremy Ng. I'm the co-founder of OpenEden, and we are a RWA tokenization platform that has created the world's first smart contract vault that brings US Treasury bills on-chain in a regulatory compliant manner. A bit of my background, I came from traditional finance. I spent 20 years on the trading floor. I was working for Goldman Sachs, looking after the derivative business across Hong Kong and Singapore. And after 20 years of banking, decided to move to the dark side. Back in 2020, I started Gemini Exchange in the Asia business out of Singapore. I ran there for 1.5 years, met my co-founder, Eugene, who was leading partnership and business development at Gemini. And we decided to leave to start our own venture, and that's how we started OpenEden.
So can you share more about OpenEden for folks that might not be familiar with what you guys are building?
Yeah, sure. So OpenEden as a group, happy to share that we own a Singapore regulated fund management company that is licensed by the MAS. And we also have a tokenization platform called OpenEden Labs. So we're combining the two businesses to build a regulated money market fund and tokenizing the units of the fund, and then building a smart contract vault with a dApp that investors, and after going through KYC, they can connect their own private wallet onto our dApp, deposit USDC, and instantly mint T-bill tokens, which represents the ownership of the underlying T-bill fund, and start to see the NAV or the token price appreciate in value, representing the underlying yield that's generated from US Treasury bills. And we are also the first tokenized T-bill product that has a Moody's rating. So Moody's, in its 115 years of history, has rated the very first tokenized money market fund, and that is our OpenEden T-bill product.
Yeah, Moody's is incredible, and it's like really a testament working with them that they must see a lot in your potential, right? Like, that's an institution that's done all the ups and downs of finding credit, bonds, all the sorts. So yeah, really excited for that. Good job on closing that relationship.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we are pretty excited because when Moody's came speaking to us last year, wanting to rate our product, we didn't thought it was a big deal, so we actually delayed it. But then this year we had got some time, so we decided to, let's do it. And it went through about 4 months of due diligence, of rating exercise, and looking at our whole tech stack, our risk management, our regulatory compliance and audit. And they got very comfortable with what they're seeing and gave us an investment grade rating.
We'd love to learn a bit more about what does this mean for OpenEden, how this will help your vision and building out the future roadmap.
Yeah, it was really exciting because it is the first time that Binance Labs invested in a RWA project. So it was a very interesting process where we explained to them what is the RWA potential and how OpenEden's vision is in shaping a new financial system through tokenization. And we're very excited that now we're part of the family of Binance Lab. So we can share our product, especially to within the Binance Lab ecosystem, the community, all the portfolio companies. And at the same time, being able to contribute to growing the whole ecosystem, whether it's on the exchange, on their chain. So there are actually many, many possibilities, and we're very excited about their investment into OpenEden.
Who are these guys that are minting the T-bill tokens? What sort of utility, and who's the right target audience that you guys are looking at?
Yeah, sure. So we have onboarded over 120 treasury managers from DAOs, from Web3 corporates and projects. And essentially, we are giving them a very easy access to risk-free rate on-chain, whereby they do not need to perform any on-off ramp. They do not need to set up a bank account or brokerage account, which is challenging for actually many of the Web3 companies. Now, for some of the other Web3 companies like Foundation or DAOs, they choose our product for a different reason. It is mainly for being able to keep all their assets on-chain in a very publicly verifiable way. So instead of them investing in a money market fund, in a brokerage account, how are they going to actually show that they have invested in this to their token holders? So our product, become very uniquely positioned to serve, both the accessibility and the transparency need for many of these Web3 companies. As a basic cash management tool, it serves one purpose, but there's also another group of users that are more trading oriented. They look at our product for a different reason. It's more from a perspective of capital efficiency. So why do I say that? Because there are several prime brokers or market makers that are able to take our T-bill token as a eligible collateral. So for some of these traders, they now are able to use a yield-bearing instrument as a collateral for them to perform their either futures trading or options trading. So really kind of adding a lot of capital efficiency compared to using a stable coin that is non-yield bearing and also possesses DPAC risk. Whereas our product eliminates the DPAC risk given the fact that it dollarized everything.
That's so cool. I actually didn't know that aspect of it, but it's so true, right? Even if your brokerage account, you sit on cash and you don't earn anything on it, why not just have a stable coin, that's giving you some yield? That's really cool. I feel like that's a huge unlock for the industry to be able to tap into something like that because, most people do just keep that cash and, it doesn't earn anything.
Yeah, and I think that's really kind of like a 2.0 application. The 1.0 is just giving you access to risk-free yield. But because you bring it on-chain, you can do so much more. Imagine owning a money market fund on a brokerage account. You can't do anything with it other than just looking at it every day and see its value grow. Yeah. Like I can't use it to pledge as a collateral on another trading platform. I can't use it to transfer to my friend, maybe after an expensive dinner. But once you're on-chain, there's so much more possibilities in terms of how you want to use it.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So going back to what we discussed, much earlier around like the Moody's rating, congrats once again on achieving it. But also, what's the significance of this? Could you share with us how you guys went about, getting the rating, the seal of approval from Moody's?
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Moody's approached us, which in itself it is very interesting because Moody's is a global company, but they are based out of the US, and there are already several US tokenized T-bills issuer that started before us and have larger TVL. But it's interesting that they approach us, which is not a US project, and as we discussed with them, we understood why, because they wanted to find a project that is credible, it is regulated in a tier 1 jurisdiction, and obviously, with a team that has a good track record of risk management, me and my co-founder, collectively, we have more than 30 years experience working on a trading floor on, reputable Wall Street firms, and we have a strong track record. So after going through the different processes, the different framework, the rating exercise is obviously very stringent. We're able to check all the boxes to make them comfortable that the way we manage asset, funds flow are of the top security, for investor protection, as well as for performance and returns of the underlying portfolio. And and then we got a rating, so it's a huge, I would say, in a way, quote unquote, proof of proof of what we have done is truly institutional grade. Yeah.
What does success look like for OpenEden?
Yeah, TVL obviously is one of the metrics, but we look beyond just the TVL, because if you look under the hood, I think what is also really important is how diverse is your customer base and how deep do you actually penetrate, to the market and fulfilling the demand. So we are quite proud to share that if you look under the hood, the way that we have positioned ourselves, we have the least concentration risk compared to some of our peers that might have larger TVL, but if you look at the number of wallets that contributes to say 90% of their TVL, the top 2 largest protocol have less than 10 wallets that contribute to the top 90%. When you look at OpenEden, it is the top 30 wallets that contribute to 90% of TVL. So we are a lot more diverse. And as I mentioned, we have onboarded more than 120 treasuries, institutions, and more than 80 of them are active users. So we believe that we actually are serving the needs, and we have a much deeper penetration. So we like to look at these two metrics as a form of success. So I wouldn't even use the word success. We are far from it. It's just the beginning. But we're just very humbled by some of the recognition that we've gotten, and we want to be able to do more and build the right product for our investors.
One of the unlocks of tokenization of real-world assets is the DeFi composability. And one thing I noticed the OpenEden team has is a partner program in place. Do you mind sharing a bit more about that? How can some of the projects on Arbitrum get involved if they're interested in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we have done and will continue to do is to have more partnership that brings on greater composability. So for example, if you are a lending protocol that is built on Arbitrum, you can add T-bill token as a new eligible collateral. And because it's a good collateral, given the fact that it is very stable, it is not volatile like other digital assets, and it has native yield. So by using this, it is a perfect collateral for lending borrowing. So it kind of creates both sides, on borrowing demand and lending demand. Or if you are, for example, running a perpetual DEX, likewise, I think a T-bill token will be a very interesting eligible collateral that increase capital efficiency for your traders. And for the exchange itself, you have a much lower risk of any potential liquidation because your collateral is very stable. It doesn't, in fact, it just keeps moving up instead of having a chance of going down. So these are just two examples. I'm sure there are also many more. There's one particular DeFi project that we had a partnership with. What they do is very interesting. They are able to swap the floating rate return of our T-bill token into a fixed rate upfront return. So that could be interesting for someone that wanted to extract the interest upfront and fix. And then they can use it to do whatever they want to do. Maybe they want to use to buy options, or they want to give some distribution. So there are many things. As long as you have a creative mind, come speak to us. We are very happy to work with the other projects.
And for that partner, is it similar to like a fixed income product? Because that's a gap in the market that I noticed, is missing, especially in the broader DeFi landscape.
Yes, so that particular project essentially has created an interest rate swap on chain to swap floating into fixed. And that is something that is very interesting, but is not something that we are seeing in the DeFi world. So we feel that as we have greater proliferation for people holding T-bill, which generates floating rate return, more of these products that can give you an interest rate swap would be highly utilized.
In the market, we have over 50, L2s in the space. You guys are on Ethereum. Arbitrum is the first L2 you guys deployed on. So take us through what are some of the considerations, the team thinks about from a technical or ecosystem perspective when, picking the next chain to deploy on.
Yeah, I think, for us, the chain's community is extremely important, and probably the first thing that we look at, how active is the community, how active is the chain, and how secure. Obviously, security is very important. We look at gas fee, obviously that is also a component. So I think working with Arbitrum, in fact, I think we are the first tokenized T-bill product that has launched natively on Arbitrum. And we feel that there are several reasons why we have selected to partner with Arbitrum. I think number one, the foundation is very supportive, obviously kind of giving us a lot of tech support when it comes to building on the chain. Your technical guys are constantly talking to us and providing information, support, and whatnot. And also obviously Arbitrum has a very thriving DeFi community, one of the most active and largest TVL. So that is also another reason why we think that adding our product onto Arbitrum actually can fulfill a lot of different demand and needs. I think at the end of the day, these are the important things that we consider, and so far it's been a very good experience for us.
Curious, why do you guys decide on this? Token standard. How is it different from an ERC20 contract?
Yeah, the ERC 4626 standard is one of the most battle-tested interest-bearing token standard. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, just use what is working and what is proven to be working. And I think what is more unique is the way that we have created a token price that reflects the underlying money market fund's NAV on a live basis 24/7. And the way we do that is behind the scene, we have got API connectivity to the underlying fund's custodian account, and also at the same time we have connectivity to market data provider, which we are using London Stock Exchange Group to extract the underlying treasury bonds prices. So putting everything together, we're able to generate a live net asset value of the fund, which translates to the token price. And this in itself is already a huge innovation in the asset management industry, where at best, the fund houses can give you a daily closing NAV only. But because of what we have done and bring it on a blockchain, we have created a product that has a live NAV that enables 24/7 investment and redemption.
Yeah, definitely with the 4626 standard, definitely a step function increase in terms of transparency of NAV on-chain. From your perspective, having been in the space, what do you think are some of the blockers for large asset managers or financial institutions to come on-chain?
Yeah, I think number one, the good news is a lot of the large financial institutions are very interested to come on-chain. Some are already have already done that. You look at BlackRock, you look at Franklin Templeton. Some are obviously giving a lot of verbal positive signal, but haven't actually stepped into it. I think one of the challenge is obviously in a large financial institution, they are highly regulated. Decision making go through different layers, and stepping into a emerging technology like the blockchain world, where there are still a lot of negative connotations when it comes to KYC or AML, it is not easy to make quick decision. It is not easy to get a consensus opinion to move forward. So I think that's where we kind of fit in the very right spot, because we are smaller, we are nimble, but at the same time, we are a group of builders that had very long experience in traditional finance, that understand how financial instruments work and trade, and at the same time how traditional finance regulatory requirements are. It's very different from the pure crypto world. And kind of combining our experience of TradFi with our DeFi experience, I think we are very well positioned to at least be the pioneer. And then we can help a lot of the larger financial institutions to help them bridge. So for example, OpenEden is speaking to a lot of very large asset managers that are keen to work with us to help them tokenize and bring their product on chain. And what we have built is an end-to-end platform where we can be the issuer, the tokenizer, the asset manager and distributor. So it's not just for our own product, but actually it is a tokenization as a service product that any other fund houses or asset managers have products. We can just bring them, come on board very quickly, go to market, proven tech stack, and proven security, as we have a pretty long track record, at least in the Web3 tokenization space.
One thing Luke and I actually like to do with our guests is have some sort of like trivia questions, so a fun question. One that I have in mind is what's your favorite aspect of a Token 2049 event?
I think I really like it because a lot of people are telling me that the Singapore Token 2049 is probably the largest token event or crypto event in the world. And that is refreshing because usually the biggest event usually happens in the Western world. But I think that demonstrates that Singapore has really come a long way in becoming a leader or thought leader in the innovation or technology space, and seeing so many people coming, helping us to thrive our Singapore economy, and seeing them enjoying the local food is really refreshing and exciting. So yeah, just really good to see old friends and then making new friends. I think that really is the ethos of the crypto economy.
Any particular events like ArbiVerse?
Clearly, where I am here, and if you are not here, you should come, or if you're not here, you're missing out big time. It's like great, seeing everybody is so excited and so passionate. Really kind of feel the energy coming back, and especially after the last cycle, whoever that's still behind, whoever that's still around building are really truly the guys that are truly invested and passionate. And I think these are the people that we want to still hang around.